Okay, welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited to be talking to you about two medical dramas that just released. One is on Fox and it airs on Tuesdays, and the other one is called The Pitt, and Noah Wiley comes back and plays a different doctor, not Carter, but close enough. And that one is on HBO Max, and that airs every Thursday. All right, so first up, I'm going to talk about The Pitt. So The Pitt is a show that is kind of sort of in the vein of 24, and Noah plays Dr. Michael Rubovich. So if you remember Noah, he played Dr. Carter on ER. He also produces with R. Scott Gimel, who created ER back in the day, along with Michael Crichton. Michael Crichton passed away, and he has an estate that has filed a suit. I will just say this, claiming a breach of contract. And the claim is that the Pitt is ER, and that the producers of the Pitt decided to create a version of the NBC series set at an urban Pittsburgh hospital after negotiations between the two sides for an ER reboot failed, infringing on a state's contractual right of approval for any derivative work. Okay, so Warner Brothers came back and basically said the similarities between the two shows are only generic, and that the Pitt is not a derivative work of ER, etc., etc. Anyways, so back to the show. So that's kind of going on in the background while the show's airing. In my mind, when I first heard about the lawsuit, I thought, oh, maybe they'll put a pause on the release, but they released it anyways. So the Pit takes place in real time over a day in the vein of 24. So if you guys are fans of 24, it was a show that came out and it was incredible. One of the best shows, I think, because at the end of every episode was a cliffhanger, and I love that show. And I love the way that they're doing the show in that same vein. It follows the lives of healthcare professionals in Pittsburgh Hospital as they juggle personal crisis, workplace politics, and the emotional toll of treating critically ill patients, revealing the resilience required in their noble calling. Yeah, it's a great show so far. It's funny. It's very, very, very different from the next show that I'm about to talk about. It's called Doc, and it's on Fox, and it airs on Tuesdays. You can watch it the next day on Hulu. So Molly Parker plays Dr. Amy Larson. Omar Metwali plays Dr. Michael Hamada. It's a really, really great cast. Scott Wolf is also part of the cast. Amara Vaughn is there. John Michael Eckert is also in the show. Doc tells a story of Dr. Amy Larson, who loses her memory during a car accident. She must return to being an intern. She's a brilliant doctor in the show, just brilliant. And after this accident, she must return to being an intern and somehow rebuild her life from the pieces that remain. Between the two shows, I would say that Doc on Fox is that one's gonna grab you by the throat emotionally. And it already has. Episode one was pretty freaking crazy. Episode one set the tone of the relationships, and then you have the accident that happens, and then a little bit of the aftermath. And I tell you, it was extremely emotional. They did a really good job with that pilot. Now, with the Pit is very, very different. It's not emotionally charged as I guess I was thinking it would be, but it so far it hasn't been. So we've only watched two episodes. There are episodes in Max right now that you can watch. And so definitely not as emotionally charged as Doc. So I highly recommend both shows. If you are into medical dramas, those are great. I've grown up on medical dramas. I've watched ER, I've watched Chicago Hope, I watched Grey's Anatomy. When my mom was having a stroke in front of me, I knew what it was. No one around me knew what was going on, and I instantly knew that my mom was having a stroke. And the reason why was because I watched these shows, and they cover all kinds of medical emergencies. And I apparently instinctually knew what was going on with her. So I'm a huge medical drama girl. It's what I grew up on. It's what I watched in high school and in college. And so I'm super excited for these two shows, these two medical dramas to have come out. I encourage for you to watch both and see what you think. And if you have watched both, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like what you see, I look forward to seeing you back here. Be sure to subscribe and like this video, and we'll talk soon.